In a major move, Germany has frozen certification of the crucial Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline. It's a big step taken within hours of Russian President Vladimir Putin's announcement. The move was announced by German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. It's the firmest response yet to Moscow's recognition of Ukraine's separatist-controlled regions.
Ist heute eine grundlegend andere.
The situation today is fundamentally different. And that is why, in view of the latest developments, we must also reassess the situation. Incidentally, also with regard to Nord Stream 2. Today, I asked the Federal Ministry of Economics to withdraw the existing report on the analysis of supply security at the Federal Network Agency. This may sound technical, but it is the necessary step under administrative law so that no certification of the pipeline can now take place. And without this certification, Nord Stream 2 cannot go into operation.
Ohne diese Zertifizierung kann Nord Stream 2 ja nicht in Betrieb gehen.
Since its inception, Nord Stream 2 has been Europe's most divisive energy project. It's worth $11 billion. The pipeline runs from western Siberia to Germany, running parallel to Nord Stream 1. It connects Ust-Luga in Russia with Greifswald in northeastern Germany. The pipeline would make Germany's dependence on Russian energy even greater. Operational, Nord Stream 2 could heat over 26 million German homes, enabling Germany to act more independently on the energy market. For years, both Berlin and Moscow have maintained that it is a commercial project, but Nord Stream 2 also has huge geostrategic implications. The pipeline passes through the Baltic Sea, meaning that it bypasses Ukraine, depriving the government in Kiev of $2 billion in transit fees. Over the years, Europe's energy reliance on Russia has become a crucial shield for Vladimir Putin. Moscow provides almost 40% of Europe's energy supply. For Germany, that figure is over 50%. Here's a graph to show how dependent Germany is on Russia for gas. In December of 2021, Russian pipeline gas was Germany's biggest supply source. For Berlin, losing this large chunk of gas imports could be detrimental. To compensate, it would require an increase in coal-fired generation at home or imports of power from its various neighbours. The US has long viewed the pipeline as a tool that Russia could leverage. It was also opposed by both Ukraine and Poland, leaving Europe divided. When it comes to Germany's own coalition government, there has been political infighting between the parties themselves. But for now, Germany says its gas supply is secure even without Nord Stream 2. However, Berlin predicts gas prices will increase further in the short term. The pipeline has been awaiting formal approval since last October. However, Germany has suspended the process for now. According to Chancellor Scholz, currently there can be no certification of the pipeline, and without this certification, the Nord Stream 2 cannot begin operating. So let's cross live now to WION's correspondent in Berlin, Trent Murray. Trent, just to understand exactly what the German Chancellor has and has not done today, this is a freeze in the certification process that the pipeline was going through, which was pretty much the last thing, other than some technical testing, that needed to happen before Russian gas could flow to Germany and Europe. So how should this be understood? As a move completely to kill off Nord Stream 2 by the Germans, or as the Germans throwing at least a substantial, maybe temporary spanner in the works?
To note about Nord Stream 2, Simon, is that, as you mentioned, it is already finished construction. And in fact, the Russians say it is filled with gas, ready to go, ready to help bring relief to German customers who are seeing eye-wateringly high electricity bills over this past winter. But what Chancellor Scholz has done in the past couple of hours is essentially intervene politically into a regulatory process. Independent regulators were just going through the final stages to sign this project off. He has now thrown the weight of the Chancellery behind that process and told them to halt that process, effectively leaving Nord Stream 2 for now dead in its tracks. Now, it is an extremely significant move because when Chancellor Scholz has been asked about this question ever since he was elected in December, taking office after Angela Merkel, he's always been very resistant to speak about it in detail, not wanting to discuss whether it would be the type of thing he would do if Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine. That is why today's press conference was just so surprising. It really left many here in the German media especially completely shell-shocked. It was not expected. Already, though, we are hearing from the Russian side. They, of course, not happy about this. It's a very lucrative project for Gazprom and the Kremlin. Dmitry Medvedev has issued a statement in German, obviously wanting to get to a German audience, the former Russian president. He said, "Welcome to a new world where Europeans will soon be paying 2,000 euros per cubic metre of gas." Obviously signalling that because of Chancellor Scholz's decision today, people are going to pay a lot more for their energy bills.
And Trent, what are the internal consequences of this in Germany politically? Because it was only a couple of weeks ago that Olaf Scholz was right here in Washington, sitting at the White House alongside President Joe Biden, and couldn't even bring the phrase Nord Stream 2 to be articulated from his lips as German reporters tried to press him on whether he was really determined to take a step like this. Are his coalition partners fully on board for this move?
Well, politically, it is just such a prickly issue for Olaf Scholz because many people in his own party are very supportive of this pipeline because they see it as a way to help bring down the cost of energy here in Germany and therefore make the country a lot more competitive, especially in industrial manufacturing. In fact, Olaf Scholz will have had to have stared down a lot of very powerful people in German politics to make this decision. It's worth noting his predecessor, Gerhard Schröder, a former Chancellor of Germany from Olaf Scholz's own party, is now the chairman of Nord Stream 2. In other words, he's bankrolled by Gazprom, by the Russian state gas firm, to lobby the German government on behalf of this project. We know right up until just last week, he was having meetings with MPs in Olaf Scholz's own party. He recently penned an opinion column here in Germany accusing Ukraine of saber-rattling in this entire process between the two sides. So it is a very difficult and politically challenging issue for Olaf Scholz. Many commentators here in Germany are saying this afternoon that Germany in many ways has really exposed itself today with this decision and it could suffer some real economic pain because of it. The hope is now that other European Union countries will be willing to do the same and back in those EU-level sanctions.
Extraordinary developments. Trent Murray reporting for us live from Berlin. WION's correspondent there. He'll keep you in touch with all the twists and turns